Good afternoon, guys. I'm Christy. We are back to talk more about living life with chronic pain. To start out, I'm having an icky morning. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, so I actually had to leave the house. And anytime I leave the house, my pain worsens and I suffer for it for a day, 2, 3, 5, 7, who knows? Depends on what I do. So I was gone for about 3 hours yesterday, and of course today, last night, my pain crept up from a 6 to a high 7. So that's where I'm at this morning. We're gonna go back to 2011. My timeline. I started at the very beginning, and 2011 is where I finally, after several years, received my diagnosis of ankylosing spondylitis. I had fought for this answer for so many years, and I finally got it. My fifth rheumatologist is the one that diagnosed me, and now what? I finally got this diagnosis. Now, what do you do with it? It's scary. Yeah, sure, it's what you wanted, but in the same sense, um, it's not what you wanted. I'm now stuck with this disease that I'm going to have for the rest of my life, and there's no cure for. So, we're going to talk a little bit about AS and what AS is. I'm not going to get real in depth medical terms. I'm just going to kind of give you my lay version of AS. So, AS is an autoimmune condition, an autoimmune disease, and it causes systemic inflammation throughout the body. And I want to make something real clear because in a lot of my groups, there's people that are, working on trying to get a diagnosis, trying to get answers. And they go to these doctors or rheumatologists, whomever they are, and these doctors tell them that there is no way they have AS because they do not have a gene called HLA-B27, which is a genetic gene. And I want to make it abundantly clear that you can have AS without having the HLA-B27 gene. Sure, in the beginning, it was highly linked to AS, but it is not a standard. It is not a 100%. Again, you can have AS with having an HLA-B27 gene. So do not let them bullshit you. You tell them they're wrong. Do your research, please. Anyway, AS is an autoimmune condition. It's an inflammatory disease that affects the spine. Mainly is like the major culprit. Over time, the inflammation can cause the vertebrae in the spine to fuse. It can also cause inflammation in the joints throughout the body and the ligaments of the spine and peripheral joints, which can include the SI joints, which is a pretty standard norm that goes along with AS, the knees, the ankles, the hips, ribs, shoulders, feet, hands, and it causes stiffness and pain. In addition, after so long, especially without any treatment, AS can cause a hunched over posture, which is why it's important to get on those biologics. The biologics aren't going to take away your pain completely, but what they are going to do is hopefully prevent the AS from getting worse throughout the years to the point when you're older that you are not hunched over. In addition, uveitis is a big one with AS. A lot of people diagnosed with AS end up having uveitis, which is an eye disease. I myself have had it twice. It is super important. If you start having any trouble with your eyes, pain, redness, swelling, inflammation, and you have AS, that you get in touch with your doctor or an eye specialist, because it can be a serious issue if you don't get it taken care of. AS is also linked to, you can also have psoriasis. It's also IBD, irritable bowel disease, can be an issue with AS. Fatigue, of course, we all know that. Again, there is no cure for AS. Will there ever be right now in our lifetime? I highly doubt it, which is a sad reality when diagnosed that, we have to take in. And it's not an easy reality to take in. Just to talk a little bit about what causes AS. There's been some research. There's been a couple things that they think may be related to AS, such as genetics. Of course, we just talked about that HLA-B27 gene. It is genetic. Environmental, and possibly trauma. Now, I do have a story about trauma and where I personally think my AS came from, or was a big factor in, why I got AS. But I think I'm going to touch base with that here on another video, because I want to try and keep these a little shorter. So I will be back here in a little bit to talk some more. Thanks all.